Hey everybody, and welcome back. Maybe even this will feel like a mini documentary, I don't know. But I just wanted to share the experience that I had recently that I thought was just a lot of fun. So if you follow my channel, you know that I do a lot of work with dance, particularly ballet. I am the in-house videographer for Ohio Contemporary Ballet. And I've done work with a number of other dance companies and things related to that over the years. I find that process fascinating to the point where I'm actually working on a photo documentary series called Le Geste that kind of captures the grit and the hard work that dancers put into their craft prior to the big show. And I never had appreciated just how much work went into particularly ballet until I started working with the ballet company. You take it for granted. Those people make it look effortless, and that's their job, to make that work look effortless. But, the training they do consistently, year round, they're like professional athletes. There's just no way around it. Even in your hometown, the ballet company that's doing Nutcracker or whatever, like, I promise you, those people are putting in hours a day doing the work. And it is tough on their bodies. It's tough on them mentally. And, the company that I work with, they don't have air conditioning in the summer. And I'm telling you, I get to that studio and it is hot. And they're in there 4, 6, 8 hours. And on top of that, many of the dancers also then do other workouts to supplement, or they do training for classes for other people. It is a long day of physical activity. So just massive respect for the dance community. That being said, the person that I work with at Ohio Contemporary Ballet also does marketing for a place called the National Choreography Center, the NCC, based here in Akron. And I hadn't heard of it. And she's comfortable with me. I've worked with her for years. She likes my work. And she said, "Hey, would you be willing to come out to NCC and capture this thing that's happening?" And I thought, well, sure, But I didn't understand what it was. See, NCC is, for lack of a better term, kind of like an incubator for dance. As far as I can tell by looking at their website, they help with grants and they help create a creative space so dancers can work on their next product, their next project, their next show. And it gives them the room and the time to be able to make something. And so when I walked in, I was like, whoa, what's this? I met the coolest 3 ladies and their band. I don't want to cut the band out. They're with them, but they were a combination of 3 different types of percussive dance into a fusion, if you will. So it was American tap, flamenco, and then an Indian traditional form that I can't remember the name of. I'll put the word on the screen here. That. They're doing that. And then they kind of mash it all together because it all, not that it has the same roots, but it can meet up, and they kind of like diverge and come back and diverge and come back. And they share their various styles with one another as they're creating. So cool. And so watching them try to come up with this piece called, I don't know if it's The Kitchen or just Kitchen, but the kitchen motif was central to this piece. And so I'm very curious what it'll end up looking like. But what I can tell you is, as I was seeing what was happening and as I was a part of it, I was like, oh no, I didn't bring enough gear. I didn't prepare enough. I didn't know. Well, look, I think that Jen, who works at NCC, she just wanted some photos. But when I got there, I was like, I want to tell so much more of this story. And that's sort of my nature. Like I get in there and I'm like, oh, I love what this is. And I want everybody else to know how cool this is. And so I just wish I had brought more with me. Like I had the wrong, so there's photo and video. And then, my cameras that I currently own don't have what's called in-body stabilization. But I have stabilized lenses. But they're not the greatest for photography, because, you want sort of a different look for photography lenses. So I have my photography lenses with me. And then I was like, oh, I got to get some video of this. And the video is all really, really, really shaky because it's all handheld. I didn't know what I was getting into. And I would have loved to have even done interviews with these ladies. And it was funny because they really were starting to have fun with me in the space. And we're like, hey, you can come with us to New York. And I'm like, I don't have a budget to come with you to New York, or I would, because they were just, it was really, they were very hospitable and welcoming and just open to me sharing the space with them and capturing what they were doing. To the point where I got such a kind compliment from Brenda, who was one of the members of Souls of Duende. She just really enjoyed my photography, and they shared it widely on their social medias as well. Anyway, I was with them in the space, and it was fun to watch them create together. And the musicians too. The musicians are very familiar with the percussive component of what they do, and particularly the percussionist. There was a point at which he was sort of working on something and jamming out a little bit, and then they started to go, okay, cool, let's do something with that, And then watching that all kind of watching the formation of an idea is something that I absolutely love. Again, loved meeting these ladies, loved what it was they were making, and I can't wait to see what they do next. I'm following them all on Instagram. I'm put up all their things here, all their handles. Follow them. I'll put it in the description as well, and see what it is they're making. But what a joy that was. So that was the first sort of in this new series of just sort of giving you the behind the scenes of what it is I'm working on and kind of explaining the process. Hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.